I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. The verdict is in. The man that said he grabs whenever he wants is finally found guilty of grabbing whenever he wants. On Tuesday, May 9th, a former president was labeled a sexual predator by a jury of his peers. Of course, wouldn't that mean he needs to be judged by other sexual predators?
I saw her in a picture. She is not my type.
However, a jury of normal people heard the evidence and granted E. Jean Carroll an award of $5 million for Trump's, rape, attempted rape, sexual attack. I don't know. They didn't convict him of rape because they said too much time had passed. So ladies, if you get raped, tick-tock. However, they did say that Sweet Potato Hitler sexually abused the writer and then defamed her character. And the judge stated, Trump subjected Miss Carroll to sexual contact by use of force for the purpose of sexual gratification.
I saw her in a picture. She is not my type.
And the jury awarded $2 million for sexual abuse and $3 million for defamation. Doesn't that seem weird to anybody? Sir, you will pay for raping my body, but you will pay more for raping my reputation.
You insulted my honor.
You what now?
I demand satisfaction.
Trump said he had no idea who Miss Carroll was and that she wasn't his type. Then during his deposition, where they showed a picture of Miss Carroll and asked if he recognized her, he said, yes, that's my wife, Marla Maples. So, not only did he sexually assault not his type, he married another one that looked just like not his type. You know, it's stunning to me that this insane, moronic, inept, bankrupt, blowhard sexual predator got to the White House. It just shows what H.L. Mencken said was true. No one ever went broke underestimating the intelligence of the American people. And P.T. Barnum said there is a sucker born every minute, which, by the way, is the name of a graduate level course at Trump University. So, Trump lost $5 million to E. Jean Carroll, not just for the sexual assault, but for damaging her reputation. And Ms. Carroll said, because of the incident, she has not been able to have a relationship with a man since. You hear that, guys? She hasn't had a man in 27 years because of one sexual encounter with Trump. Now do you get why Melania is always looking like she's trying to swallow a turd? So, we now have an ex-president who has been indicted on 34 counts of tax fraud. He's under investigation for stealing classified documents, for committing election fraud in Georgia, trying to stage a coup. Sorry, I know, guys. It was a museum tour that went bad.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
And he has to pay out $5 million to a woman he sexually assaulted. This is a bad guy. Do you get it? He's a con man. He's a criminal. And he's a GOP presidential frontrunner. And CNN just gave him a town hall. So, glass half full. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the actual Armageddon update. Holy shit, how do we ever how are we letting this go? We're going to give him another shot? Anybody else would be in prison. There's countries that I don't like that would at least put the guy in prison. But no, you got to let him try again. That's what America's about, second chances. Hey everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast. With me as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
I actually thought you were going to say Ken. You set it up for so long. Ken was like, me? What's up, people?
And the sexy Highlander.
Oh, there we go.
See?
That's right.
I just watched the Highlanders' new song video, and I love the song, and I think it's going to be coming out.
Thank you very much.
I want you to spew your lyrics across it so I can see what you're saying.
I love that it's rapping, but there's singing because you're such a good singer.
And the chorus,
thank you very much.
I love that song, and I want to have that song. So anyway, you guys should be watching the Traveling Wilburys because they're putting
Willing
something
Bureau.
out.
It's the Willing Bureau.
That's not my fault.
It's not the Traveling.
You said
you can have it. I know people who
at this point. Everyone's just buying. Like Jeff Lynne is like Jeff Lynne. Somewhere going, my God, we're through the roof. That's 200.
But there's no rap on this. What?
People are getting a lot of complaints. We're getting a lot of complaints that the Highlander. Who's the Highlander?
Jeff Lynne's got some fat beats.
Yeah, exactly.
I am at a loss. It was such a weird day this week. We have ex-president Trump basically loses a case for $5 million. Loses $5 million. I don't know her. I don't know who she is. I've never seen her before. I don't know her.
Up comes 50 photos of him with her.
Dude, with the Armageddon update, if you look at it, he kept saying she's not my type. And we found a picture of E. Jean Carroll in 1980 when this happened. Or before, 27 years ago. So 1980s, I'm sorry, 2000, whatever it was. And then we found a picture of Marla Maples at the same time. We were just looking at it on the computer. Holy shit, they're the same.
Doppelganger.
Yeah.
She didn't believe it.
I said, are you sure that's not the same?
Yeah. She's not, I don't even know. That's not my type at all. Except she looks exactly like the woman I married, who's also not my type. By the way, none of them are 14. That's why they're not my type. It's interesting that I was stoked. I was like, good. He finally got busted for some shit he did. He didn't get a rape charge because that's a criminal thing. Then that would have gone criminal, but also there's been too much time, right? So as I said in the Armageddon update, ladies, if you get raped, TikTok, just get on that. Don't push it.
Which is insane. Why is there a time limit on that?
Well, why? Well, it's funny because we need Rare to talk about this because there is as a dude, someone hurts me, does something like that, whatever to me, it's dealt with that day. But women have been taught their whole lives since they were born, let it go, especially that era too. I mean, she was born, don't say anything, just let it go. And I think there is a culture of silence that women are taught from the time they're little, and you're going to cause trouble. And
really, you think?
Yes, and they're never believed.
Ask Anita Hill.
Yeah, and they're never believed. Exactly.
He's a Supreme Court justice who has now proven himself.
Who's the worst turd we've ever
I'm asking, why can't you prosecute him after a certain amount of time? There should not be a time limit on that.
Well,
because of memory and there's no witnesses.
Couldn't you say anything then? I mean, couldn't anybody say anything? Oh, no.
But if it's going to be proven.
The reason this happened is because they changed the law in New York.
It was thanks to Letitia James.
Yeah, they changed the law. The reason this happened. But they couldn't get him on a criminal charge because they would have needed DNA evidence. They would have needed some hard evidence to bust him on a rape charge.
She had DNA. She had the dress still. He refused to give a DNA sample. She still had...
I didn't know that.
Yes. I'll look it up while you talk amongst yourself.
They found Bill Clinton's DNA also.
I was gonna go there. You beat me, you son of a bitch. I was going there. I was gonna go there, and you were like, even weirder. They found Hillary's.
Boom.
But that's exactly where I was gonna go, and you beat me to it. I'm irritated.
And they found it on Hunter Biden's laptop.
Come on. That's another thing, man. They still keep doing this. They had a whole hearing on this, and it was a great. I didn't know his name. I saw it on Instagram yesterday. There was one of the senators came out and said, "We have a former president who's currently the GOP frontleader that has been now convicted of sexual assault. We now, or not convicted, but sued and lost the case for sexual assault. We have him investigated 5 different ways. We have George Santos, basically a guy who just got elected to the House of Representatives." Arrested on 13 cases or 5 different charges. Santos.
Yeah, 13 different indictments.
13 different indictments.
Charges in the indictment.
Wire fraud and con.
E. Jean Carroll, who accused Trump of raping her in the mid-90s, kept the dress that she wore on that day. I don't know. I mean, are these people getting storage units? I don't have room. I got shit falling out of my drawers.
Dude, is there a soiled dress bag?
They got evidence room.
I'm so confused. No, really, don't go in there.
Seriously.
I never in my lifetime have. Okay, we'll go past that.
No. I'm just saying, but you're right. What is in your mind that you go? I'm saving this.
She requested his DNA originally. He refused. She had a DNA profile done on the DNA on the dress and wanted to match it.
But of course she would save the dress because Monica Lewinsky saved the dress. Of course she would. It's a thing. It's a thing now. When you get raped, you save the dress.
It was her special day.
Yeah. Like the wedding dress. Yeah. You saved the wedding dress. You saved the rape dress.
This, you guys, this is the problem right here.
100%.
This is the problem. Ha ha. She was raped.
I'm not saying no. We're not
I've never heard anything funnier.
It's just weird that you would save it. Wouldn't you want to burn it?
Well, maybe she
We're 4 years old.
maybe she foresaw a day where a woman could provide evidence of a
Yes.
rape and it would make a damn difference.
Yes.
Maybe.
Because in the old days,
She must have. Why else keep it?
there would just be a forced drug overdose, right?
What?
Marilyn Monroe, right? Back in the good old days.
You're connecting threads
She
right
would-
now that are
Right
very
now,
thin. and
welcome to Conspiracy
you've
Hour
lost
with,
both of
at
us.
the Titus Podcast.
Within the first 5 minutes, we're both like, what? Okay.
She was killed by a who?
No, not by the Who. They're in
Marilyn,
Whoville.
Marilyn, take this. Drink this, Marilyn.
Yeah. So anyway, she did keep the dress. The new law in New York extends the statute of limitations from 5 years to 20 years for second-degree rape and 5 years to 10 years for third-degree rape. But she was beyond that,
Why
so
couldn't
she sued him civilly.
so she couldn't? So even if his DNA came back and matched the dress, there's still a time limit.
Well, she was suing him in civil court, so that just would
I
have
know,
been
but that's
evidence.
a criminal case though. At one point, if
Well,
he can prove,
She was trying to have him found liable for rape and sexual battery. She won sexual battery. The rape, I mean, that would have been evidence.
so as I'm
to
listening,
that.
to the abomination that is CNN now. Before the podcast, I was going through the news because when we were at the podcast,
I thought you were going to say Obama. You said abomination. That would have been a killer, like, rap tour name for him. Abomination. Because they all called him, like the Antichrist and stuff.
Yeah.
Abomination. And it's the Abomination. Anyway, sorry, President Obama. It's
That's good.
about
By
10
the way,
years too late.
yeah, she always pitches great ideas for the past. Listen, George Washington, I got this idea. Wooden teeth. Hold on.
I do have
The
some
whole
ideas
thing.
for him. I have a lot of ideas for those guys. My doctor said to me today,
We're gonna fix Hitler's rep. Hold on.
my rehab.
She's got ancient press kit. She's a press agent. I have no what I'm saying. Ancient press agent. There you go.
My doctor was just saying to me, I had to sit and talk to him for an hour because I think
That's what
he's
you do.
bored and he's lonely and he's going to be 80 this year. And he
You make it
cried about losing his sister.
What?
I just sit there and think, God, I'm my mother. I am 100% my mother. I
Yeah, mom.
end up in an hour-long conversation with someone I don't know that well, and they're crying about who they lost, and I'm consoling them. And it's just, anyway, he lost his brother and his sister 2 weeks apart.
Oh no.
But he said to me, he goes, thank God that Trump was found guilty in civil court because now he can't run for president. Thank God. And I went, no, that's not a thing. And he said, yeah, sure it is. He can't be civilly found for sexual assault and run. I said, he could go to jail and still run for president. We had a guy do it for vice president, and he looked at me like so blown away.
Right.
And I said, he said, no, they would have put a law. I said, the founding fathers never foresaw this as being a problem.
They always thought that they always thought that the people that ran for office for public service were them.
Do you see how I brought it all back to the founding fathers and how I have pitches for them? That was what I was trying to get to. My
We're the
brain
good
was
guys.
like, pew, 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 pew.
Nice.
And I'm back. Yes, I got a lot of ideas for them. If
So-
you've been bankrupt, should put that in the
right. If you've been bankrupt, if his college being civilly lost,
well, they didn't know what college was yet. Or
no, I'm
bankrupt.
saying Trump. You can't. If we did new laws now, there should be to be president, you should have to meet a certain standard, don't you think?
And all it is now is be born here
35.
Yeah,
and then age 35.
Yeah.
That's it.
that's pretty sad. But
There's
they have to vote on that, they being the people that refuse to. And they will probably vote on that right after they vote on term limits
And guns.
and to get rid of their own health care because that's not fair. Guns,
and lower their paycheck.
that.
And
And lifetime pay. Yeah, they'll
Lifetime-
vote. They're going to get all of those on the
The
same
people that
day.
are doing the criming
Exactly.
is the ones who.
Oh, and the insider trading with the inside info that they get about.
instead of trading on stocks.
They're going to vote on that on the same day as well.
Yeah. So that's coming. That's a Thursday
It's all
in the future.
It's
And
going
the
to
no
be.
yacht rides.
It's someday. Someday.
Gonna.
Every day is someday.
Oh,
One
my
day.
God.
But I will say that I'm encouraged that George Santos was charged at least something happens.
Even Kevin McCarthy, who's the biggest weasel I think I've never seen a bigger weasel on either side. He's a look, Jim Jordan is a psychopath and a babe in a hole. Ted Cruz is like he's evil Dennis. He's just and then you got but I wouldn't say Ted Cruz is a weasel too, but in a different way. McCarthy is a weak weasel. He's like, they go, what do you think about George Sanders? Now that Sanders has been arrested and they have 13 accounts against him, he goes, would you vote for me? Nah, I don't think I'd vote for him.
He's a bitch.
Nah, I wouldn't. Nah. It's just good.
Yeah,
what?
but I'm not
What?
going to get him out of this session.
No, we can't make him resign.
Yeah, but even though he's under indictment for 13 different charges, he's fine. I just won't support him in the re-election. Don't you remember when people resigned under scandal?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even poor Al Franken, it's got to be banging his head off of a desk.
Yeah.
There was a picture of him. He's a comedian. It was a stupid picture.
On a plane with
he
people.
instantly resigned. And now you got a guy with 13 charges
I
that's
wanna-
like, yeah, I'm not going
I
to
want to point something out the Al Franken thing. The reason it was a picture because someone took it. That means he was doing a joke.
Yeah.
On
It was a
a
setup.
comedy tour for the troops.
Right.
He was doing
He
a
looked
joke.
at the camera and smiled.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't. We didn't
wasn't
catch him on a
caught.
ring camera.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a dude. There was a bunch of people on the plane with him going. And he said she was acting like she was asleep. He said she was awake.
She was part
it
of
was
it.
part of the bit.
Yeah.
And they still did it. And I think it's because the Republicans hated Al Franken. You know why? He's really smart and he's a comedian. So what he would do was he would not just beat them up. He would do it in a way that was very cutting and right to
just
it.
rip
Right.
them.
Yeah, he would rip them. Which is a great idea. And I kept thinking, like, wow, comedian president. Jon Stewart, there's this thing that's starting to go around where people are like Jon Stewart for president. And I was like, yeah, crazy comedian. And I thought, wait a minute. Jon Stewart was the guy who got all the 9/11 first responders their health care.
Right.
Jon Stewart is literally not some douchebag comedian like me who just has a podcast. Jon Stewart put his money where his mouth is and actually started moving.
You know, Ronald Reagan was in a movie
Just about
called
to say that.
Bedtime
For Bonzo. There was a series
Bonzo.
of those.
Okay.
There was a couple of those.
It wasn't
That's
sure
what I'm
if you
saying.
knew
Hilarious.
that
So-
our governor
so-
of California was known for being horrifically horrible at acting
Yes.
and saying, I'll be back.
And right, exactly. I get
Okay.
that's right.
So,
But
it's okay.
but that's what. So those guys were those. By the way, I have to be honest. I have come to accept Schwarzenegger because Schwarzenegger he talks like he talks. He's kind of weirdly brilliant. I've been seeing some stuff that he says, and I'm like, oh,
he's a badass.
he's insightful.
You read how he got started, his early days,
one dumbbell in the woods.
basically.
Yeah, and some steroids.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
Hey, whoa! You can't do this. You can't do
What?
this, Donald. You can't. I'm
whoa.
telling you, we've had this. There is a split. There's some lines we don't cross in our marriage, and that's one of them.
you don't. All right.
Whoa.
Yeah, and so
It was hard to not cross it though when that picture of him later in life in the bikini in the what do you call it, Speedo, and
out at the pool.
let's just say
That was actually
if
with
one
Carroll.
had done steroids cause what's called bitch tits.
Yeah.
And when one is not working out the same or aging and maybe not on the steroids anymore, said bitch tits
Become regular tits.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
and
just
it
become
was-
tits.
it was-
They become
Nobody
great
go
tits.
search that picture. Trust me.
But interesting. Jon Stewart, though, I don't think it'd be. What a crazy Democratic president.
Jon Stewart is brilliant.
He's brilliant, insightful. Like that when he busted that guy on gun, they was talking about the guns together. They were talking about why do you think you guys, you can look this up. Why do you think drag queens are so bad? And the guy goes, well, drag queens are doing this. We don't want to indoctrinate children into blah blah blah. And we need to protect. And as the guy goes, protect children. And he goes, I'm sorry, what? We need to protect children. He goes, yes, we need to protect children. He goes, do you know what the number one killer of children is? And it ain't drag queens, guns. And you see this dude you could see everything locked down. There was a batten down the hatches moment where Ruga, everything's going off in his head. People are running. He just goes,
He just imploded.
Yeah,
He just-
So since being indicted, George Santos came out and said witch hunt, of course.
witch hunt. Yep, that's it.
He has now tweeted in all caps witch hunt. Also tweeted where's Hunter with the emoji. all caps. He's all capping like the old guy.
Well, Hunter,
He also tweeted, I asked questions about Miles Guo and the DOJ indicts me 5 days later. This fight is real and I'm over the target. I need your support to keep me fighting for freedom.
So he gets busted.
Chip in today.
He gets busted for campaign finance crap, and then he actually asks for more money to finance a campaign.
Yeah, apparently he was buying designer clothing and
he bought every time you see him, he's got a new $300 set of new Ray-Bans. Every suit he has. It said it's a witch hunt. Well, we have pictures of him actually dressed as a witch for Halloween many years. Really, he's dressed as sexy witch though.
Okay, so Miles
in Brazil.
Guo is a Chinese billionaire who is currently being held in the U.S. on behalf of the CCP. I'm not saying this is true. I'm saying this is what they're saying. I don't know this.
The CCP.
Chinese Communist Party. He has information, I'm assuming that's what it is, that can destroy the Chinese Communist Party, so he's being held captive and facing extradition back to China. His life is in jeopardy. That's a quote.
Wait, how is the CCP holding anybody hostage in America?
Well, they have those Chinese police stations. There's one in New York. That was a whole big thing I saw.
But what is that? Why would we even allow that? Like, I saw this and I thought it was some made up bullshit. There's actually Chinese police stations?
My brother-in-law was telling you about it too, and I knew you were instantly like, don't believe you, liar. But I had already seen it on...
Bring this up. What is this?
Okay.
What are we have Chinese police...
At the embassy? The Chinese embassy?
Why the fuck is that what it is? Why would we allow that?
Chinese, it finishes it for you. According to the human rights group Safeguard Defenders, which first drew attention to the issue in 2022, there are 102 overseas police stations in 53 countries, including Italy, France, China, Britain, and the Netherlands. Reports published in Chinese media suggest that they are on most continents.
Why can't we shut that? Don't you think we would shut that down?
CNN reported China is operating over 100 police stations across the world with the help of some host nations. They say it's to monitor, harass, and in some cases repatriate Chinese citizens living in exile. They use bilateral security arrangements struck with countries in Europe and Africa to gain a widespread presence internationally. This is a new report CNN just published.
I don't make this makes no
sense. That's funny because when I was sitting there listening, I thought you didn't believe it. But yeah, I had already...
I'm sorry. Doesn't it seem... Okay, all right. So if that's true, and it sounds like it is, why the fuck aren't Ted Cruz, everybody screaming about Biden not shutting this down?
That's an interesting question, isn't it? I wonder why.
Why aren't Ted Cruz and Jim Jordan talking about the Chinese police station in New York that's actually grabbing Chinese nationals and not
helping to repatriate them?
That's a really nice way. Boy, George Orwell is busy as shit.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get a name for that.
Let me sleep.
George Orwell AI just drops, makes up. How do you change murder? Murder? He fell. That's what we call it. He fell from now on.
Are there any here in California?
What?
I'm not there yet.
I
read about this.
I just understood what the word flabbergasted means. I just understood the word flabbergasted.
It's a Chinese word. Flabber.
No, oh my God.
You did it.
Both of you.
You started it. Wait, see, I said it. Then she went with it. She went, no.
I didn't go with it.
You went, no. You started to go down the road.
Sandwich.
Yeah.
Sandwich. Italy, which signed a series of bilateral security deals with China over successive governments since 2015, is kept largely silent during the revelations of alleged activities on its own soil. Yeah, this is a very long, involved report that you guys can all go dive into.
When I get done, I'm gonna go look at that.
Safeguard Defenders are the people that were the whistleblowers. They stumbled on the police networks while trying to assess the scale of China's effort to persuade some of its people, to return to China even against their will, which based on official Chinese data could number almost 250,000 people around the world during the time she has been in power.
We shot down a balloon.
I don't
understand.
My question is this: balloon.
But they're
I'm sorry,
already
I
here
almost
with
did something horrible again. I almost did something horrible
Ireland
again.
has shut down the Chinese police station that they since found in their own territory, while the Netherlands, which has taken similar measures, has a probe underway, as does Spain.
So my question is this. So this isn't something that's sanctioned or understood by the U.S. government. They come in. So the Chinese government buys a giant building. Let's say they buy a building, right? They turn that into a place with cells and whatever that can hold people. Then without telling anybody, the building is, it looks like a tech company. And then they become a Chinese police station where they do what they want.
Well, I don't know. You just said that, but
Putin has a vacation
usually
home.
how you do news. You get one fact and then you say what it is.
That's I have a
without knowing.
podcast.
Extrapolate.
I know.
No one's listening.
Last month, this was when this article was first published, FBI Director Christopher Wray told a Homeland Security Committee that, yes, he was deeply concerned about the revelations. His quote is, "It is outrageous to think that the Chinese police would attempt to set up shop in New York, let's say without proper coordination. It violates sovereignty and circumvents standard judicial and law enforcement cooperation processes."
Well, that's insane to me.
And
That's
yet,
insane to me.
And yet, what have you really heard? What is Kevin McCarthy? This was December 4th, 2022. What is Kevin McCarthy doing about this every day?
I don't I haven't even how come I don't understand why our government's not bitching about. I don't understand why there's not a SWAT team breaking this down.
China says that they exist mainly to provide citizen services such as renewing driver's licenses. Don't. Either of you.
What?
No.
They're very good drivers, most of the Chinese.
I don't want you to say driver's licenses.
Oh.
But now
Oh
you're
man,
thinking
now
it.
my brain said it.
I am trying to see.
So which means everyone else said it in their home right now. So then wait. So basically China has decided to open up DMVs in other countries.
They need a lot of DMVs all
Yes.
over the place.
Yeah, there's a
This is
billion
a
people.
problem. We got a problem.
We got a problem. Wait, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, because never when I'm in a foreign country have I needed a US DMV. It's the thing you do before you leave your country, unless you were running and trying to never go back to that country.
I would
So
instantly-
FBI busted the Chinese, which my brother-in-law told you, busted the Chinese police station in New York City in April of this year and exposed 6 more in the United States. They shut down one in Manhattan after the arrest of 2 alleged operatives earlier in the week in Aprapril. I'm trying to find if we have one.
I love that they've named it innocuous police
yes.
station. It's not. This is a spy.
Yes.
These are basically agents of the Chinese government, spy agents
So this-
taking back Chinese citizens.
Keeping tabs
Human
on
Rights
this. Yeah.
Group
Yes.
found this. Yes, in addition to Los Angeles and New York, Safeguard Defenders found overseas service stations in San Francisco and Houston, as well as Nebraska and Minnesota.
And they got their Class A trucking licenses.
They're in Minnesota. Now think of
They're
a
in Minnesota.
Chinese accent with a Minnesota accent.
I just in my brain I did it again. I'm sorry. At least it was forever.
Try being a Chinese man with a Minnesota accent.
Gonna make it worse.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a great day.
No, I don't think that. Where was the?
What? Oh yeah, this is going to be a great day.
That's just straight up Canadian. I don't know what that,
That's just a Canadian with a
yeah.
speech impediment. That's
I
all
think
that
you're
is.
gonna have to work on that one.
No, I don't have to work on it. We're on the ragged edge of trouble all the time anyway on this podcast. If anybody listened, so this needs to be shut down. This is I can't even fathom why this isn't just national news all the time.
Well, they shut down the one in Manhattan, supposedly.
We have agents of China opening places where they basically apprehend their own
If
citizens.
you think that's bad,
Something-
wait till you hear
Oh, no.
what Saudi is doing in places like Arizona. They're
Beheading.
buying up so much land.
And
They
water
are
rights.
buying the land where all the water rights and
They're
the
buying them out. Look that up.
natural gas and things like that, so that or the electrical grid, so that they control Can you
for
fathom
a
that?
golf
Our
course for Trump.
resources. Yeah.
Yeah, because our country's capitalistic, and the people that own that shit are just like, sure, go ahead.
Here, sure, I'll take. How much?
Mhm.
3 times what
Yeah.
it's worth?
I think
Okay.
someone was pointing out that we think we know, like Musk is rich, right? He's rich, 158 billion, whatever he's worth. The Saudis, imagine oil money, and imagine oil money's back to the 60s,
Just finished it for me.
and they're worth how many trillions?
Everything's like made of gold.
Trillion,
like their buildings and their cars.
Trillions and trillions of dollars. They have so much money, but here's what people don't quite understand. You ready? You can buy all of America you want. You can go ahead and take our water rights. You can take our mineral rights, and we're going to decide to go, nah.
Well, the funny thing is,
2 words: national interest. Sorry,
That's just a piece of paper,
you
bitch.
fucked with our national interest. Sorry, can't have it.
what's your
Done.
point? We go take it back?
Not even a question.
Deed
Well, it
deleted.
shouldn't have been
Ever
to
sold,
begin with.
exactly. Well, you would have thought the government would go, whoa, you can't sell the water rights in fucking Arizona.
So
It's
because of
Arizona.
that, in Arizona, so we've been in a drought. I don't know
That's
if
what I'm
anyone
saying.
noticed.
Yeah, that's all they
Arizona, in
got.
the midst of the drought, all the land owned by the Saudis were farming alfalfa, which is one of the most water-intensive crops in an area where there's a shortage of water. If you can go look at the pictures, it's beautifully
They were
green.
owned by the Saudis, and
They
were-
are shipping the crops to Saudi Arabia, where it's illegal to grow because it takes too much water. They're actually
So
Wow.
So wait, they know that this fucks up the desert. So they bought water from a desert.
They're like,
And then-
I will drink your milkshake. That's exactly what they're
What
doing.
is going? So the 4 gallons of water left in Arizona, they purchased the rights to it and then used it to grow alfalfa that they sent back to Saudi Arabia.
The Arizona
What is going
Attorney
on?
General said pumps are pumping water out of the ground that belongs to the state of Arizona, and essentially it's being exported to Saudi Arabia.
See, all we need to do is stop this.
There's all kinds of stuff going on, but
Whoa.
one of the coolest things going on is this episode is brought to you by Harry's Razors. One of our
Wow, that was-
all-time favorite
I got a
Right,
little,
it did. I
little
did.
whiplash.
I just got a new Harry's Razor set.
Yep.
I got the metal handle, the Winston
Oh.
Chrome.
The Coleman.
Super sweet.
that's mine,
Super. No, it's not.
No, you-
I just got it.
Nope.
I'm leveling up my shave game. I think this is, they say it's their sleekest razor yet, and I have to agree because it is. That's why he's so jelly. It's called the Craft Handle. It's the same as the razor that you loved already with the German engineered blades. That
5 blades, German factory that they own.
but it's a shave unlike any other shave that has ever existed on the planet. I
Can confirm.
still have been with him for 17 years, and you still, every time you shave, go, I know, but just feel this. No, go up, go backwards against the grain, and there's nothing.
Nothing.
There's no catch at all. So this is the new design. It's got a killer new look. Go look on their website because you guys are going to be left behind.
Also, your legs are the smoothest things in the world.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Flabbergasted.
No. The other thing that
Send
I
those
love,
hate letters to go to the website, go to the contact page, and we will read them out loud.
the other thing that I love about Harry's, I love so many things about Harry's.
Yeah.
But I love that it gets shipped to you and you don't have to go anywhere to get it. And I set up on an auto plan for the blades so that I don't forget, but also their blades last so long. It
Mhm.
doesn't have to be crazy often.
Right.
You know?
We have, right. I was actually in the bathroom and I was looking for blades and I had 3 packs standing on top of each other, 3 packs and I was like, oh, we're not, because
I'm
they keep
rich.
working.
Yeah.
I do. I feel luxurious.
The new craft handle is like, it's sleeker, it's more modern looking. This craft starter set, I wish you probably have to inset the picture to show people, but look
Uh-huh.
at this razor. This is why he's so mad.
Yeah, it's just too clean.
It's
It's like a custom 50 Merc as a razor.
Oh, Harry's went next level.
So I am currently smelling like Harry's body wash. I use my
let's
face.
talk about
My
our
face
shower.
has Harry's lotion on it. I use Harry's face wash. I use Harry's shampoo. I have 3 different kinds
Did
of
you
Harry's
say
shampoo.
Harry's hair paste?
the hair paste.
You hoard like crazy.
I'm down to 2. I had 7 at one point stacked up. I thought Armageddon.
Of the same. I
need to be spiky during Armageddon, man. If you look at Road Warrior and all those movies, they had spiky hair.
Yeah, it is a survival.
So this new craft handle I like too. Mine's chrome, but instead of them doing a rubber handle, it's got like the little rubber dot grip pattern. So you're getting the full chrome razor if that's the one you want. And it's still like weighty. It's substantial, but it's even better. The craft handle starter set that I just showed you guys, you can get it for $10. It's like
it's crazy.
Get it, and it comes with that new handle, the 5-blade German engineered razor cartridge, shaving gel, and the travel cover. Plus, you can schedule your replacement blade delivery like I do, and the refills are as low as $2.
We do,
but and just go to the website because they have new stuff all the time. And I love the Redwood body wash. And they have the soap too. I love that one. My dad is currently all Harry's.
Going through the crate of Harry's that got delivered to his house.
They still have a no risk trial, so if you don't like it, they stand behind that. So
everybody, we've gotten to use Harry's. We even have emails from people that listen to the podcast that are like, "Thank you for sending me this company. $10 for the whole set." I think is Harry just gonna are they just gonna pull the cord like the rug out furnace one day? $10, yeah, $10, and then one day like it's $700.
I would have to contemplate that. It's that good. There is no other. Like I just remember when Harry's first started advertising with us, I didn't try it. It was his, he used it. And I still remember being in a hotel room in San Francisco, like a year or 2 into it and trying it and being like, holy shit, it's night and day different.
She said, you're going to need to get some more razor blades because I'm using this one. What?
And people say like the 8th shave is as good as the first on the same blade. So just try it. Elevate your shave with the latest and greatest in Harry's razor handle lineup today. Like I said, you can get that $17 craft handle starter set for just $10 at harrys.com/bombshell. That's harrys.com/BOMBSHELL.
That's actually the longest ad we've ever done.
I know, but we love this company. But you can get that entire set, all of that stuff for $10 with that code. That's just crazy town.
CNN. By the way, CNN did a town hall with Trump. Hold hands for a second. Hold my hand. Everyone, hold my hand. Hold for a second. Dear Lord, we've lost CNN. The death of this network and Caitlin Collins' career. Please put your hand upon them and lead them into the other side. CNN, by the way,
I'm afraid you're going to be hit with lightning.
CNN for many years
want to create a lightning chain.
Did actually.
It's like a seance in here.
Yeah.
But come on, man. I mean, they literally any credibility. First of all, they fired Don Lemon because they said he was misogynistic. Then they gave Trump a town hall where he basically called Jean Carroll a twat, a lying twat. Said it on, and they're like, he's
officially misogynistic
today. Yeah, he's actually But today, and they gave him, but they fired Don Lemon, who's a gay guy, who basically said he was trying to rip on Nikki Haley is what he was doing.
Right.
He was. I think you could rip on Nikki Haley, but your choice of doing it, you actually lumped all women. Aren't women over when they're 40? He said that aren't women over when they're 40? You know, most people want 20s and 30s, and I was like, dude, are you what? Even me, and I'm a dude, and I'm like, hey, bro. Hey, yo, this is about to get ugly.
Yeah.
So they basically had Trump on. And Caitlin Collins, I got to be honest, you can tell that nobody of any substance really want to do it. I used to really like Caitlin Collins. I watched her for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, we thought she'd be good at
I
this.
watched her for the last 20 minutes. She tried, but you know what it was like? It was like this. And I figured something out about Trump. Trump has this thing where he can lie. I've never seen someone lie with such confidence.
Mm-hmm.
He flat out, he goes, the election was taken from me. It was taken from me. It's a horrible thing that has happened to this country when things are allowed to happen like this. And she goes, I'm sorry, Mr. President. I'm sorry, excuse me, Mr. President. No, it's been shown by your Republican. I think that it was never a thing. Well, the who? He goes, who? Who said that? Who said that? He goes, everybody, every single one of the people that work for you. And at one point I start to hear it and I'm like, oh shit. They needed Chris Wallace. They needed somebody that could go,
That could
I'm
check 'em.
sorry.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have her up against this guy who basically has zero respect for women, as the $5 million that got paid to eat, that's getting paid to E. Jean Carroll came out. You don't put a kid and say with Caitlin Collins, she's like 30 years old. Compared to the news thing, she's a kid. You put Anderson Cooper up with him. You put somebody who can actually go, stop.
It's also
Rachel Maddow, but he never would have agreed to it if it were someone like that. And it was so clearly stacked. The entire audience
crowd
applauded
and laughed
at really heinous things that he
Sickest
said,
things,
including about E. Jean Carroll and being a psycho, and they laughed at that. I mean, it was like, I know that people support Trump, but finding that many random people that are so willing to be that misogynistic or racist or lie or cheer for Putin in one room on accident didn't happen.
He said he was going to solve the Ukraine thing in one day.
Yes.
Give me 24 hours. Hey, bro. Okay, let's go. Well, he did fix healthcare in a day. Sorry, never did it. He did fix infrastructure. Wait, no. He said that his tax plan was going to actually save middle-class people thousands of dollars. Oh, by the way, guys, all those tax cuts that you had, that was $40 a day, that you didn't get, it just got put in your paycheck, and then you had to pay it at the end of the year. That's gone this year, 2023. So
hold on.
They let him just lie. And Caitlin Collins, she had nothing. I was watching go. She tried. I'm not saying she didn't try.
He attacked her too.
Yeah, I'm saying you're a nasty person.
When she tried to get him to answer something because he dodges, he did that, and I think it really rocked her back.
But the only way to deal with Trump is if for her to go like this. He said, "You're a nasty person." She goes, "Am I bleeding out of my eyes? Am I doing that?" If she don't went, that's who he needs. He needs Jon Stewart. Fucker needs Jon Stewart.
I'm not nasty. I'm asking you a question, which is why you're here.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be great at it.
Yeah, you'd be.
Except I'd probably Annie B and explode on him.
Yeah, she would totally Annie B on him.
Speaking of staying calm and happy, this episode also brought to you by Lomi.
Okay. All right. Just stop. So, the Lomi has become, I'm being cheated on by a composter of some sort. But yeah. Oh yeah. Because it is used all the time. This thing is in my house going all the time. The plants. Okay. Let me tell this little story. So we started putting the dirt from the Lomi on the plants. She planted a cherry tree a few years ago, and it's been sticks. It was a skeleton. It's a skeleton of a cherry tree, is what it is.
It was a baby. I brought it home as a baby.
Little Charlie Brown tree.
But it wasn't. But it was very Charlie Brown. And so what happened is that we went on the road for 10 days to do a gig, and she had taken the Lomi, as she always does, but she hadn't been really doing it at the cherry tree. She smothered the cherry tree in the dirt from the Lomi, which is all these.
So the Lomi is this. So explain what it is. It's a very space age, cool, clean, white. Doesn't take up a lot of counter space.
Like
and
Apple
you
built
throw
it.
all your food waste in it.
Garbage in it.
Man, do you start to realize how much food waste you have?
And it turns it into nutrient-rich dirt. And so she put it. So we were gone for 10 days.
That's the setting I choose, so I can.
She put it on the tree.
Setting.
We came back, and the tree was like, "Hello!" The tree, and it was leaf, dude. It was crazy. It looked like the tree was literally in Brazil, at the Rio Festival. It was like I'm alive. Let's do it. The tree was amazing.
So
it was crazy.
I am constantly.
The peach tree is growing peaches already.
Yes, we have peaches growing, oranges growing, but as you said, this is the most used appliance you've ever seen in our house.
It's running all the time.
Because you have food waste all the time. And my really sick part is like he will cook eggs because he likes to make the house smell like farts for days. And
covers up anything I might do.
Then there's eggshells, and I'm so excited because eggshells are so good for plants. And then I actually cut open Nespresso pods and put coffee grounds in it so I could get some of that because that's very good for plants. I am making potions. It is alchemy. And our garbage can is no longer overflowing when the garbage goes out to the curb because we don't have as much garbage. We're not putting food in a landfill that creates methane gas that's bad for the environment.
But for me, I agree with that. But for me, the thing for me is to watch what the nutrient soil is doing to the plant. It's interesting to watch how, because we live in California and our soil is kind of clayish and so our trees have problems and and especially with the drought last couple of years. This year different, but we've had the plants that I think that cherry tree's been struggling a bit, as is Prudence the peach tree. And now you put this dirt in the crystal.
Yes, like, I name all my fruit trees.
Yeah, she's named everything.
Orenthal is the name of the orange tree.
What? Why? Why? Oh.
Yeah.
Nobody gets that right away ever. I'm like, no, Orenthal James? No? Okay. So you can feel better about yourself and have fun as well. Speaking of farts, it's such a small, even in an apartment, and you can turn it into this dirt in 4 hours. It's crazy fast. It's quiet. It doesn't smell bad. I don't know how. It's magic. So whether you want
You're excited.
I love it.
When it's done, she's like, look what I got. She takes a little bucket out. She's like,
whether you want to start making a positive environmental impact or just grow a beautiful garden, Lomi is perfect for you. Head to lomi.com/Titus. Use promo code Titus. You get $50 off of your Lomi. That's $50 off when you head to lomi.com/Titus and use promo code Titus at checkout. Thank you, Lomi, for sponsoring this episode so that I could have more fun than I've ever had in my life.
Things running all the time. It's crazy. I guess we have a lot of garbage because it's running all the time.
But you don't think about it. Like, even I cut watermelon last week, and I'm always like, oh, I was about to throw the rind away, but then, or banana peels.
Mm-hmm. So what I do now, it's helping me because I don't have to throw stuff away. I just leave it on the
counter.
And
our garbage doesn't stink.
I just leave it on the counter.
He does. He does. And you, in the old days, I'd be super annoyed, but now I'm like, ooh, eggshell. Ooh, yeah, it's amazing. You guys got to try it. It's super cool.
So what do we do, man? I don't understand this.
I have some good news for you.
Do me a favor. Tell me who bought CNN. Tell me the guy that I want.
Saudis?
I just looked this up.
The guy who bought the guy who bought CNN is a hardcore right-wing billionaire. What he did was
that's why they've been going that way.
Oh yeah, and they got rid of Don Lemon, who was a hardcore lefty, and now they gave Trump this town hall. And when you see, it's so weird. I had this flashback. If you know the history of Hitler. When Hitler got out of prison, he came back and then he took over. And this is not, people think there's no way he's going to win. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. I watched him just now with Kate and Collins and I was like, holy crap, this guy is so confident.
Oh, my doctor said today, there's no way. He goes, after this, they're not going to, Republicans are never going to put him on the ticket. And I was like, where have you been?
Yeah.
They don't care anymore. Discovery bought CNN. But
Discovery Channel?
No, they split it off because Discovery's making money. The guy bought no, it wasn't Discovery. That was before. There's a guy, a billionaire that bought it.
Rupert Murdoch Jr.
Discovery.
He is a major holder in Discovery, but it is technically Discovery. His name's John Malone. Liberals are suggesting that the tone shift for CNN can be traced back 100%. To John Malone, a billionaire media mogul who is a major shareholder in Discovery.
Oh, when's that happened before?
Yeah,
but it has gone, like, the Chiron constantly is Trump leads Biden in latest poll. Not who did you poll, where did you poll, what was
it was a cat turd. They didn't say that was the cat turd.
He didn't
know
about cat turd. I had to tell him about cat
explain. Yeah, exactly. No, I do know about cat turds. Like saying there's a guy named Cat Turd.
A few months ago, Trump retruthed.
You're welcome.
A poll that showed that he was leading whatever against DeSantis and whatever. He retruthed it. Former president. And then people went and looked at it and saw that it was a post by
a guy on Twitter.
Cat Turd 208750 or whatever. But the guy's username was Cat Turd. He's like a dude in Florida or Alabama.
And he put up a poll
He's
on
a very
Twitter.
large man.
put up a poll on Twitter that basically said, who would you want to win, Biden
It was
or
his
Trump?
poll.
Biden or Trump. So it was like me going, who do you think's funny, Christopher
It was
Titus
a
or the
Twitter
guy who's
poll.
not funny?
Click your answer. And then Trump truthed
It was-
that like it was a real poll that showed him
Polls
leading.
are showing I'm leading.
So
And Biden has toxoplasma.
The cat turd and dog fart polls are both showing me.
So he got made fun of, and he then
into
starts
it.
having him come to his rallies, and there was a picture of him today at a rally or a press conference or something.
Standing right behind
And
Trump.
I said, look, there's cat turd, because it's this very large man.
Huge, wearing the
in
biggest shirt you've
a
ever
very
seen.
redneck plaid shirt, and he didn't know about cat. You didn't know
And
about
I thought,
cat turd?
wow, you know, my favorite role he did was the guy in Seven in the first scene.
That's
He's
what
that
he
big.
said.
He's
That's
that
what he
big.
said.
He was sloth.
He's
in Seven.
that big,
Yes.
man. It's crazy.
No, not sloth.
Gluttony.
He was
Gluttony.
Yeah, gluttony.
Here's your good news for the day.
Okay. Oh boy, thank God.
Epstein cover set to explode. Appeals court ruling could pave the way for the release of buried grand jury records.
That won't happen.
An alleged Jeffrey Epstein cover-up is set to blow up after a new appeals court ruled that the release of the buried grand jury records happens. Radar Online is reporting. So
Do you understand what happened?
Wednesday this happened. Is that yesterday?
Yeah, but when so they'll appeal it again. There is no way Jeffrey Epstein was connected at such high a level, and the people supposedly those lists.
The court has now reportedly sent the case to Circuit Judge Donald W. Hafele, who per court instructions will determine what of the 2006 grand jury records could be released to the public.
Wait, no. We don't care about the 2006 records.
Well,
we care
those would have
about
been
the Ghislaine.
all of his records up until then, at least.
Yeah, but he got out and started doing it again. So he got out, he did time, and then got out and got the plane and got the island.
Right.
I mean, no, we need the
In the 13s or
Ghislaine
something.
Supposedly at
Yeah.
that time, a Palm Beach grand jury was convened in 2006 to determine whether Epstein groomed and sexually assaulted dozens of underage girls and young women. So they were already looking at that. That was his early charge where he went to jail, but they allowed him to leave every day and come back to sleep.
No, we need the list. We need the list of people who he flew to that island. And I'll be honest with you, I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat. I don't care.
Well, this would be a great first step.
Would it set a precedent? With your legal mind, would it set a precedent?
My legal mind doesn't know, but my legal mind thinks it should. Somebody is trying to get stuff released.
Well,
They seized, I think, floppy disks, right?
Yep. Oh well.
From his safe
so here's
and CDs.
Here's what happened. They raided his house. In the middle of one of the rooms, there was a pile of hard drives, computers, CDs, stacks of CD-ROM.
That's why Bill Gates was there, not for any other reason.
Well, Bill Gates was trying to give money to the vaccine. So they found that it was a big pot, and the cop said because when you go for a search warrant, you can only take certain things that are on the search warrant. Correct?
Correct.
So those things weren't on the search warrant, so they left it there. When they came back, this is, by the way, this sounds like the worst writing.
Or it's fruit of the forbidden tree.
Yeah, this
You
is the
can't
fucking
take-
worst. Right, this is like the
Yes.
worst episode of SVU.
Agent Kelly McGuire testified that the CDs and hard drives disappeared as authorities waited on a warrant to seize them.
So they were trying to get a new warrant. Well, because so people that can make phone calls to judges or judges who may have been on those CDs, and so when they came back the next day. Because they found them, they're like, we need to take these. They filed to take them, and they were fucking gone when they came back.
4 days later. If that were me, I'm standing there
Yeah.
on the
Somebody's
warrant
gotta
that
say
I
that.
already
Exactly.
have
Yeah, no, we're not leaving.
and waiting because I have a warrant to be here, still looking, waiting with my eye on that stuff. Call the judge, get the judge to sign
Yep.
this. Yeah.
Now, right now. Why? Because this is the shit that... And so whoever is on those discs, whoever is... on that list, I'm not a big conspiracy guy, but we always talk about that. This country is always about. They're always talking about pedophiles. Well, these girls that Epstein was grooming were from 14 to 16, 18 years old. That it was young girls. And one of them tried to sue Trump, and 16 days before the election, that case got dropped, and she disappeared. So I don't think she's dead, but she was paid off, obviously. before he got elected. Here's what bothers me about our entire country right now, and Santos is the perfect example to kick it off. We are fine, and you can blame con men all you want, but con men are always going to be con men, and I've said this before. The con men are going to be con men. You have to blame the dumb fucks who continue to vote for these guys. We have currently the dumbest electorate in my lifetime. Now, the Rachel Maddow podcast and stuff we listen to, you go back to the 30s, that one thing she did called Ultra. Guys, listen to this Ultra thing. This has happened before. If you're on a long drive, go to Rachel Maddow Ultra, and you're going to be like, what? How come we don't know about this? Because so many high up people were involved in it that it kind of went away. It just went away because they didn't want it to be. And if that happened then, by the way, Steven Spielberg's doing a movie about it. If that happened then, it's so easy to happen now. Besides, so many more powerful people now. It's not their fault. They're scumbags and deserve to go down, but it's the electorate, the people that are fucking voting for these losers. Trump just said on TV, he just lost the case for defamation, went on TV and defamed her again. That's what I wanted to say. I just read that she's deciding right now whether to sue him again because of what he said yesterday.
On CNN.
On CNN.
It's hard to uncult the cult group. Yeah. They're already trapped in it. And he's a cult leader.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
And they are sexual abusers, cult leaders, and he's the same.
But that's weird though. It's like how do you say, listen, I'm a DF student who barely got out of high school. I mean, I am. I learned when I started writing comedy, I had to research and become a critical thinker. If something came up that I thought sounded nuts, I would read about it. And if it was nuts, I'm like, well, that's nuts. And I'd write jokes about it.
And there's the difference.
But I became somebody that had to find the truth because my jokes had to make sense. Here's the thing about comedy. If it's not based in truth and you make a joke about it, the reason, you know, they always say it's funny because it's true. Well, there has to be a grain. That's why when I see comics now doing this anti-woke, this is another word that's bugging the shit out of me because it's come to mean like I don't know what it means. Woke just means I'm aware of other people and other needs and you know, like I guess who was woke? Eisenhower. Right. As a president. So what's bothered me is that I cared enough because of my job to think critically and do research. You know, when you do research on the gun thing, that's why I'm so anti assault weapon right now. And because when you look at it, the number one killer of children is guns right now. Mm-hmm. It's the number one killer. So I'm a fact guy.
But the irony is that they are so aggressively dumb.
But
they defend their dumbness.
Yeah, and they don't want to. Quote, I've said this. These are the facts. These are the numbers from literally the government. Yeah. I don't believe that. Mm-hmm. But
and the Trump and the George Santos, now they can get away with anything and just be like, witch hunt. Everything can go away. Here's
the thing. Here's how dumb people are. The guy gets indicted, for 13 different criminal charges. Basically, he was taking people's election money and buying himself clothing. And the fucking next day he says, send me more money. I need your help.
Yes.
And Marjorie Taylor Greene. And they send it.
He also insulted E. Jean Carroll. I mean, they're all just.
And they fucking send it though.
Yeah.
It's the con men are just con men. It's not going to go away from the beginning of time. I'm sure the second human being on the planet was like, hey man, let me show you. All right. What's it under?
Which bone?
Well, yeah, exactly. So it's the dumb people that continue to let this happen. And when I watched Trump today talking to Caitlin Collins, I thought, oh shit. You know what they love about him? Dumb people love? They love a guy who has the balls to, in the face of losing 100 because Trump lost $5 million. He said shit about her again. Mm-hmm. He's like,
he doesn't care.
I know, but that's what people love about him. Man, that dude gives 0 fucks. Well, when you give 0 fucks, eventually something goes horribly wrong for you.
Yes, for you, it's going to be 0 fucks.
Well, and anybody, and everybody, we were talking about this morning. Everybody attached to Trump, everybody goes down.
Yeah.
Everybody who
loses their job. Look at time. Like Brad Parscale.
Yep.
Arrested, video of him in his driveway in workout shorts. FBI comes, he's beating his wife. It's like everyone goes down in a bigly. Very big. Mm-hmm. This episode also brought to you by, speaking of big, HelloFresh.
Yay, HelloFresh.
Another great company. I was actually just sitting here looking at their menu while you were doing that rant.
So you know, I hate podcast that will take any ad. Every ad we have, I go, wee! I love that with the stuff
I do too, and you guys got it. If you are a member, go look. If you're not a member, still go look. Because they've really switched up and expanded the availability. And so they're doing, like I told you guys before, like for May, they're celebrating Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So they had a chef from New York City, Chef Tagmo, curate these recipes. And I was just going to look at what's coming up. And I'm hungry. That's all I have to say.
So here's the thing about HelloFresh that I love is not only is the food always good, but let's say you don't have to have it every night. Let's say we'll have 3 in there, right? So during the week, there's 3 nights where you don't have to rack your brain up what to cook, and we're not spending $80 on takeout. You go and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do this tonight.
I love that.
So
it feels like you had takeout because it's
so good.
So good. It's shockingly good. What I just changed our plan to is 3 times a week for 4 people so that we have leftovers the next day. Because the leftovers are so good. And usually you eat both of yours the night of whenever I do this. And I have lunch.
That's what I do.
I'm like, is there any more of this?
He always says,
my initial plan is wait till tomorrow for the rest. But I'm like, you know what?
I'm going to eat the whole week's worth of dinners.
So I have lunch. But you're not having, speaking of food waste, you don't have food waste because it's pre-portioned. You pull the bag out. So today I'm going to have the Gouda Vibes burgers, right? That's on the menu this week. It's not one of the Pacific Islander recipes, but it's one I'm getting because I love their burgers. Aren't they stupid?
And no matter what meat it comes with, where it's that pork
this
stuff.
is Gouda. Oh, the pork burger was also
good.
ridiculous.
What was the ones we
Gouda
shared?
Vibes burgers is with tomato, onion, jam, and Gouda cheese and potato wedges.
What were the first Kobe burger we had?
So you pull out that bag. All of the ingredients are pre-portioned in there. So you don't have a bunch of extra leftover crap. So you're using everything. It comes to your house. You don't have to drive to the grocery store. But you got to go look. Like they've got spicy Korean fried chicken. And they've got fast recipes. They've got fit and wholesome. It's all tailored to what you want to do. Vietnamese shrimp skewers and shaking beef. There's some really cool.
I just want to point out that a young Highlander here. You say it's perfectly portioned. You don't have any waste.
I know, but I don't.
Puts it all
There's
aside.
absolutely
He's got
zero
a whole
waste.
he's got a whole spice shelf now of just HelloFresh.
You got a Kenny.
A Kenny. On some of the spices, they'll tell you to taste. So I will use, but obviously he's thrifty with his spices. He's very. But then
enough on the taste, and then I save some for something else. Boom.
It's not just that kind of stuff. Like there's Monterey chicken and barramundi fish, and there's lunch boxes with fresh mozzarella and prosciutto. There's like so many different types of things. There's burritos on the menu this week. So it's all different. It's not just the AAPI recipes and things like that, although those look awesome. So go to HelloFresh.com. You can save time and save money. HelloFresh.com/Titus16. Use promo code Titus16. You get 16 free meals and free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/Titus16. Promo code Titus16. America's #1 meal kit.
I would also point out, if you're a single guy and you're, we're notorious for grabbing something and eating it over the sink.
Grabbing something is correct.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You married me.
I didn't just say you.
No.
You.
So we grab something and just eat, it's not like this does 2 things. Number one, you can come home and you're like, you know what I can do? I'm going to turn the news on, whatever, watch a movie, and I'm going to make this meal for myself. That's awesome. But if you're a single guy also, and you're like, nothing impresses a woman more than making a meal for her that's good. So you don't tell her what you're doing, but you whip up something cool. She's like, you made this?
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
And even if you don't know how to cook, no.
Boom! What? I'm sorry.
You just woke the dogs up.
Now grab
misogyny.
I like that she goes, Misogyny keeps cooking. It's
I
balanced.
like that Ken's like, wait, is that how it works?
I balance misogyny with a man cooking. See?
So
it's not totally
don't
misogynistic.
Take dating tips from him. Ever.
I'm sorry.
Ever.
That's my wife. I did all right. Okay, I get it. I get them. It's tenuous.
They have black bean and green pepper burritos this week with Monterey Jack,
come
pico de
on.
gallo, cilantro, lime rice.
Do we have them?
I can make that happen for you.
Oh.
Yeah, so don't take dating tips from him because he got his dating advice from Ken Titus, and Ken Titus would be in prison now.
This is the rape episode, and here he is talking about
Things have changed quite a bit.
And he would be in prison.
Yeah, God just said, you know what?
I wish my dad was here because he would thought that was hilarious.
Well, and true. Anything you
I
want to
think
know?
all
just-
70s dads would be in prison.
Yeah.
I feel like
Not my dad.
No.
My dad was a
Well,
Marine. Though.
He would be in a
Yeah,
Philippines
Captain
prison.
Crank.
Yeah, his nickname was
right.
Captain Crank. Let's leave it there.
His call sign.
Did it bap, beep, boop, boop. That's why you don't want the call sign Goose.
What's Goose?
Top Gun, his buddy. In Top
I know
Gun.
who Goose was, but why wouldn't you want that call sign?
because you
I'm sorry. Show me a tough goose. Show me
break your
something.
oh.
Show me a tough anything goose. Show me a tough.
But he
Show
was
me
the funny
what's-
guy.
what's-
You are Goose.
What's the? I am not Goose.
Of course you're
I
Goose.
am Iceman,
No.
and I've always been
You
Iceman.
are-
I am ice. I am Super Iceman. Yes.
No.
I am Iceman.
No. Oh, shit. Oh, no.
I am Iceman that had too much cheese. I
Oh.
am Iceman. Damn it. Watch this. See? Like he did that.
That was not at all what he did. Iceman, that was who I wanted. Girls, you're either a Goose, a Maverick, or an Iceman kind of girl. I ended up with Goose, though.
Holy shit.
Listen, noodle arms.
I'm Goose.
Back to noodle arms.
You are Goose. You would have played Great Balls of Fire, and he was fun and funny, and he was so happy with his wife.
Good guy.
Good guy, good family man. She adored him. He was
tall because he
But I've got-
broke his
skinny,
neck on the
But
Yes.
I do have I do have the darkness of Maverick though. Always worried, try to push it
Maverick
further.
did not have darkness. He was the lightweight.
Maverick was?
Yeah. Mm.
Wow. I'm Goose? God.
Pretty sure. Don't you
It's like,
think?
no!
Maverick's too tiny to be.
That's the problem, is if you know it's Tom Cruise, and Tom
Yeah.
Cruise is like,
Yeah.
you know what always made me, never
Chap
mind.
was like,
it's so
Dad, you're
pointless.
dead.
Yeah, he's good. There's this painting.
It's my least favorite podcast.
I like that you're completely thrown. There's a painting by Umberto Romano.
Mhm.
He created the painting Mr. Pynchon and the Settling of Springfield in 1937. It is a painting of
The
the
Simpsons.
17th century negotiation between English settler William Pynchon, who your family probably drank with, and the indigenous people of Springfield, Massachusetts. The painting was done in 1937. And in the painting, one of the indigenous people is holding what very much appears to be an iPhone.
Legit?
Yeah. And he's holding it like you would hold a phone and looking at it like how we do. And
Holy shit. You
isn't
gotta
that
put this up.
crazy?
Wait, that's impossible.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, look, it's got an Apple logo on it.
It's even got the
This is
the
a
chrome.
joke. Someone did this.
No, this painting was done in 37. And not
It's got the buttons on the side. It's
Yeah.
got the buttons on the side.
He's
Yeah.
tweeting.
and he's holding it like this while they're all talking, which is what
He's doing a selfie.
you do.
So we had a Native American from the future.
Just saying.
Runs with water. We gotta go back.
We took everything from them.
Just
Their
saying.
phones.
Yeah, maybe they already had tech.
They
that
had it.
would
They
track.
were way ahead.
That would
Wait,
track. if
that
we
would
were
be
like,
1930.
thank
That's
you.
There's no way a guy in 1930 would know about it. Oh, wait. I love conspiracies. I do. I've started following.
So go look at the painting.
I don't believe in them.
You sure that's not from the Denver airport, that painting?
Exactly.
That's like
You
a
do.
weird...
By the way, it's the
And
same
then-
style from the Denver
Right?
airport. That's the same
Right?
style.
Legal experts believe that former President Donald Trump's CNN town hall in New Hampshire last night gave fresh evidence to every one of the 3 ongoing criminal cases against him. Oh, I forgot, because he brought up the
arrogance.
documents and said I had every right to have them. So you're admitting again
Yep.
that the documents that they asked you for multiple times,
That you knew about it.
we know you knew about it because we have documentation that they repeatedly asked you for them, and you repeatedly said you didn't have any.
And now 100 million people, or whatever, how many people were watching, saw him say, "Yes, I have that." He also said that again. By the way, I told her this morning. I'm like, I'm stunned you can the sky is blue. He's like, no, the sky is not blue at all. That is not blue.
Mhm.
He was
and he just
asked if
keeps
he
lying.
grab 'em by the
shared the
clouds.
Yeah,
classified
he just loves
documents. In the document case, he was asked if he shared them with anyone. And he said that he didn't really share them with anyone. I not really share them with anyone. That's what he said. Tacit
I like it.
admission.
Now he's hedging. Hey, you know what? Hey, well, I stole the documents. I had the documents, read the documents. I used a couple as coasters when the Saudis were over. It wasn't
Then-
sharing.
They just peaked.
It wasn't
They didn't
sharing
really-
Then
exactly.
She asked him about his call to Secretary of State in Georgia, Brad Raffensperger, demanding he find
Perfect
enough
call.
votes. He told her in the town hall that he believed it was a rigged election. So yes, he did that.
Fuck's sake.
And he told Raffensperger, "You owe me votes because this election was rigged." That's what he told her last night. Someone said, "File this clip under new evidence for Fonnie Willis."
I'm sorry. You owe me more votes because it was rigged.
So that's an admission of corrupt intent. As for the E. Jean Carroll, you already know how he said he didn't know the woman, again, even though we have the picture of him. He didn't know the woman and called her a liar and nasty woman and all this stuff. He's also under investigation for the January 6th probe with Jack Smith. He agreed with Caitlin Collins that the people who stormed the Capitol listened to him like no one else. And Ellie Honig, who I love, said it was the most important clip of the night because the essential element of proving the crime is that Trump knew he had influence on the rioters.
Exactly.
And he has never so clearly admitted that.
In other news, 4 of Trump's lawyers took their own lives last night at 1 a.m. in a ceremony where they decided, fuck it, we can't deal with this guy. We'll be
Speaking
back
of
after this.
Speaking of life, this episode also brought to you by Athletic Greens.
Yay, no.
Yay! Take ownership of your health, people. I take it every day, every morning, first thing in the morning. I started taking it for gut health. I'm not having that's not a thing anymore, really. So that's awesome.
Yeah, now your doctor's just complaining to you.
Yeah,
No, for him.
now I sit and counsel my doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
You can get increased energy, immune system support. If you don't like taking vitamins or pills, this is definitely for you.
Can I talk about
Because I want you to be oh so careful. Just put a scoop of it in water and shake it up and drink it. Go ahead.
So I haven't had it this morning. I didn't
Okay.
take it this morning. So I was
Okay.
here and I think I had 1 too many cups of coffee and I felt a little janky. And I thought if I had Athletic Greens right now, it would calm me down. It always makes me feel well. Within about 20 minutes, I feel better.
It completes you.
A
Speaking
sense of
malady.
You
well-being.
don't need as much coffee.
I get a sense of well-being.
If you have this, it gives you'll feel a boost in energy, which is something I need. And it's also sustained energy. It's not crashing energy like coffee. So I do notice when I don't have it.
Yep.
When we've been on the road and I ran out. Last time we went on the road, I made sure I pre-portioned it. I
Yeah.
wasn't playing around because I was out of the travel packs. Those are easy. If you get the travel packs, you tear it off and you can roll it into a water bottle cup, let it slide in and shake it up. Also, I have peace of mind that I'm getting so many things that my body needs. Supports healthy hair, skin, nails, things like that. It for Ken could reduce bloating.
Release my. You don't want me to release my bloating.
Wait, there was something in which she's released. I was like, wait, what's going on?
Because
bloating,
anxiety.
It's a powder, 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients, and it's the best and highest quality ingredients you can find. It's gluten free if you're sensitive to that. It's dairy free, paleo, vegan, keto. It's a freaking awesome product.
Here's why the product's so legit. The guy that invented it did not invent it to invent a product. He invented it because he was having gut problems and he couldn't get anything to help him. So he worked and invented something that helped him clear up his gut issues. That's what this place is. That's why I love this product, because it was a dude. Because we all do stuff for ourselves. You work your ass off to get yourself feeling better.
Yeah.
When you feel sick, you'll do anything to stop it. And this guy just took it on, invented a great product. I love this stuff.
Every scoop, I told you guys, 75 vitamins and minerals, whole food sourced ingredients of the highest quality. And it makes a massive difference in several areas. So if you're looking for an easier way to take supplements, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D. That's the dropper bottle thingy. I do one drop in every shake each morning, and 5 of those travel packs for free with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/Titus. That's athleticgreens.com/Titus. Go check it out.
How do we fix what's going on with the country?
I always love when you say that at the end.
I just don't.
Because we have a podcast.
Like, the more I talk about it, it's funny. When we started this podcast 12 years ago, whatever it was, I remember talking about the Jared Loughner shooting. And I remember thinking that it makes you smarter, whether there's 4 people watching or 400,000 people listening, it doesn't matter. You get smarter. And because of this podcast, I'm so much more in depth when it comes to what's going on in the country. And I had a problem this week where I was like watching the gun thing and then just going, we've had another shooting. And then you see the guy in Texas, you see a douchebag in Texas, Abbott, just going like, we're going to do an investigation and it's a mental health problem. That's the new thing, by the way. First it was cars kill people too. Then it was knives kill people too. Now it's cars. It's a mental health issue. Right. But as you and I both say all the time, there's crazy all over the world and they don't have mass shootings because they can't get guns. Do you know why? They're fucking crazy. The GOP passed a law during Trump that it made it okay for people with past mental illness history to be able to buy a gun.
We already had that issue.
So how good are you? How invested are you in the mental illness thing? So we have that going on. We have people standing for keeping that no matter what, no matter how many children get killed, no matter how many people get shot in a store. Then we have guys getting elected like Santos, who are the worst pieces of shit we've ever seen, like horrible, lying, con men, dickheads. And then you got this guy who basically, I just read this morning, it's going to be, you'll see the article in the Armageddon Update. We have this guy who was experts sat down and went through every president. And by far, President Trump was the worst president in performance, GDP, how he handled every problem and what he got done. The worst. He's at the bottom. And they're now saying they're going to put him back up again. And I had this moment of like, holy shit, we can't fix it.
Yeah. It just keeps getting worse.
Doesn't it feel like that?
If we want to look at Trump's record, what has he done? And then these people want to put him back in again for what?
It's not even the record, which is bad enough, but people are so great at lying and believing what they want to believe in those ways, like about policy, but just strictly who he is. How he talks to and about people, how immature and ignorant he is when he opens his mouth, they're having a hearing this week, a virtual hearing on the charges in New York. The judge is going to instruct him on not using, because they have to turn over discovery. Yeah. That's our legal process so that he has a fair trial. They turn over their evidence. Well, the judge is warning him that he's going to be held in contempt if he or the Republicans that he hands it to use evidence to retaliate against individuals. So that's a thing, right? We have this grown-up man who is running for president, and they know that he's going to use evidence against individuals.
That's mobster shit.
Yes.
But
people are fine.
they love him for it. They love that he's a piece of shit. They love that he says horrible things.
All these cases, all these witnesses, all these charges, everything. It's all made up. Everybody, I want to ask my sister sometimes. So everyone, all the people that worked for him, that have flipped on him, all the people that were lifelong Republicans like Raffensperger or Brian Kemp, all these people that stood up
George
and said
Conway,
it's not
Rick
okay,
Wilson.
or Rusty Bowers in
Right.
Arizona, who's now lost his job. All these people.
Liz Cheney.
So it's everyone else, and they're only against Donald Trump. Never in our history has anyone collectively made such an effort against any one individual. So it's just Donald Trump.
Right.
We're all just
And
against
in the
him.
face of his amazing performance as president.
Right. That's the part. It's like,
and by the way, going after him because he was so good. The shit he spewed on this interview, I was at one point, I was like, and she just didn't go, stop.
Yeah.
She
seems scared of him a little bit.
There was no, well, again, it's whatever happened, however they set that interview up, Trump was not going to walk on that stage unless it was easy for him.
Absolutely.
So we had a room full of people that loved him, that would clap for everything. They laughed at, he's saying horrible things. He goes, Caitlin Collins, you're a nasty woman. He says to Caitlin Collins, and they laughed. And I was like, Caitlin Collins is actually pretty good reporter.
Yeah.
You know, I thought so up until I saw this interview. It's like throwing a puppy into a lake, man. The puppy's going to struggle. That's what it looked like. And I just kept thinking that this guy is such a liar. And he says it with such confidence. He goes, by far the best. He goes, we got Afghanistan clean, and then they turned it into a total, he didn't say shit show, but total shit show. I'm like, dude, you're the one that negotiated with the Taliban. You didn't, Karzai had to leave because you wouldn't negotiate with the Afghan government. You negotiated with the fucking criminals, being sent Pompeo, by the way. And then you made it, then you pulled all our troops out. We had 2,500 guys in the entire country of Afghanistan. Then you said, I'm out of you lose the presidency, and then hand it to Biden. Here, by the way, this is
He's great at lying.
And the Taliban was let out of prison, and they're heading towards, and Biden's like, we got to get everybody out. They got 130,000 people out. It's the biggest successful airlift in history. And we lost 13 Marines. But people keep saying, Biden. I go, fucking Biden got handed again. Here's a shit sandwich. Enjoy your meal.
Yeah.
But he would have solved the Ukrainian war
24
in
hours.
24 hours. Oh, okay. So he's withholding that plan? Is that what he's doing? Just let it happen.
That's what he was doing the whole 4 years, even when he had control of the House and the Senate.
With everything. Yeah.
He's waiting. He doesn't want to just spring all his goodness on everybody all at once.
Okay, cool.
It would be too overwhelming for you.
Oh. So I blame the stupid people. Can I say one more thing and then we'll wrap it up? I went and saw John Wick episode 4 with my son, and I really got something in the middle of the movie. I was thinking that John Wick, man, he's always going after the good. He's always going after good. And then I watched the movie, and they probably kill 500 people in the movie. 500. It's like it's the worst video game.
Single-handedly.
And I was halfway. And by the way, I love Keanu Reeves. I don't think anybody else could play the part and make the movie watchable because it's so violent and so brutal. Mm-hmm. And Keanu Reeves has this. You still like him no matter what. I realized that we have become so used to and detuned to violence. And he punches a guy, knocks him down, takes a gun, puts it to his temple, pulls the thing, blood goes out of his hand. Does it to 4 more guys in the next 30 seconds. And I had this thought where I was like, we're raising a group of kids right now because of the Halo, video games, all this shit. And I know I sound like a crazy. And then you put it on in a movie like John Wick.
Yeah. And
it's not just you have to go set up the game, load the game, learn the game. You can just go watch it now.
Yeah.
And
it is a new level.
I thought, fuck, man, we
just had lightsabers
but that's why we don't react. Like, do you know some people?
Did?
Mm-hmm. Do you know people? Yeah, you know people are. Yeah, that was
Jedi powers.
Do you know there was?
Wait, but your dad and mom bought, or was it just one toy that was in a plastic garbage bag, and you all had to fight over it? I mean, I'm confused. I thought your childhood was a little darker
it was actually
than
a
this.
But their Christmas was 2 enter 1 leaves. That's how the presents went down. It was Thunderdome Christmas. Welcome to Thunderdome Christmas.
I'm like, wait.
I can have a fantasy, can't I?
So this didn't happen?
So my point is that we are resigned. We have real killings almost every day. We've had more killings, more mass shootings than days in the year so far. We have this movie. By the way, I love the John Wick movies. I'm not saying them. I've loved them from day one. But the first one, they killed his dog and took his Mustang. I get that.
Right.
I'm killing some motherfuckers. You take my dog, you kill my dog, and take my Mustang. This is gonna get ugly.
Mhm.
And there was a specific group of guys. This movie, they kill everybody. And as good as much as I like the movie, they helped all the stuntmen. Everybody had their specialties. Stuntmen all have specialties. They went through car stunts to fire stunts for guys who can do stair falls. They did the longest stair fall I've ever seen. It was insane. Knives, guns, nunchucks, swords. They did every fucking kind of stunt. It was great. For the Stuntmen's Union, this movie's awesome. But what it left at the end of it, I was 2/3 of the way through with my son, and I thought, I am tired of easy. And it's easy. By the way, the movie shot beautifully. Every fucking scene is a painting. You got to go watch it. You'll be like, holy shit. Have you seen it yet?
No.
I want to see it. I was not invited.
Every frame is a painting.
Are there scenes like in a mall and a school and a church?
Yeah, no.
Because then
No.
it's hey, all right.
That's another thing. I just got something. They framed it. Every place is lit with blue and red lights, which is weird. Because outside, inside, outside hotels, water's always flying. There's a scene in a nightclub where water's falling, and as he's killing everybody, people are dancing and they don't stop dancing. And in a nightclub, and it's 1,000 people dancing.
That was in the first movie too, right?
And he's killing it. No, I think it was
Second
in
movie? I don't know.
Matrix 3. There was a whole big scene where they're all dancing, but he's killing people in the middle of it. And I thought, this is a fucking metaphor with how desensitized we are to violence. Everybody's dancing, music's pumping, he's killing people, literally blowing their brains out, and people are like, and I thought, that's fucking,
another gun
that's
death.
fucking America in a nutshell. Another gun death, more people killed, moving on. So go see the movie. The movies were shot beautifully.
I would love to.
I thought you didn't like movies.
I would go see this movie because my friend Jen saw it already, and she said it was the longest movie ever, but it was great.
You hate long movies, though.
I know, but
it's nonstop.
Action movie.
You can suck it up because it's nonstop. But I've
had enough people tell me that it was great that I would go watch it because I believe them.
But as art reflects life, I really thought, holy shit, man, we are so used to violence. We buy video games violence and then daily violence, and we're fucking fine with it.
Adidas has finally. I just want to
bring let me wrap it up. By the way, guys, so go see the movie. It's good, but just let this. I'm just going to infect your brain a little bit.
Adidas has finally decided what to do with the millions of Kanye West shoes after cutting ties with him. They've been sitting on more than $1 billion worth of unsold Yeezy sneakers that it has in stock. Once they kicked his ass to the curb. On Thursday, the CEO, Bjorn, has announced that the company will resume selling the remaining stock of West's Yeezy line and then donate all proceeds to charities. They're going to donate it to specific charities that would help.
Maybe some Jewish charities.
Yes.
That would be awesome because he was talking.
That's Yeezys for cars for kids.
Yeezy's cars for kids. There you go.
They said it would have cost them $550 million to destroy the stock.
Why don't they just recycle them and use them for other?
It had already announced last week that the loss of Yeezy had cost them $441 million in sales 7 months after making that decision to fire him. So they are.
Why don't we just name them after the Jeffersons and call them Wheezies? And then
just slap a new label on them.
Wheezies.
Yeah, it's George. Face of George.
Yeah, you just put George Jefferson thing on the box. These are what I'm wearing Wheezies.
First of all, they were so marked up. Right?
You want to smile, and you got close to smiling, and you did. Darn it! Got this close. I got this. Adidas has decided we're going to sell them. We are not selling Yeezy. We're not selling Yeezys anymore. We're going to be selling Wheezies.
And now, here with the fun fact.
And now with the fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. Hylanders Fun Facts.
Okay. Highlander
like we had
really
something.
let it out that time. All right.
Speaking of crime and Trump.
He's always speaking.
Speaking of,
He starts very much. Speaking of,
Baby.
you may know that everyone's fingerprints are different.
yes.
But did you know that the same is true of everyone's tongue?
Really?
You have a tongue print.
Really?
Yes. Says E. Jean Carroll.
You know.
By the way, that's gonna be a weird. By the way, the new security thing to get into your house. Yeah, okay, it's him.
Tongue scan.
That's the weirdest way.
That's how you get into your phone.
That would be something like out of what was that movie? Idiocracy. Yeah, everybody's tongue is different, man. That's how we use it. You read.
So Chinese police are working on that.
We, in about a month, the beginning of June, we are going to release the first episode of Surviving Death, the comedy podcast that we talked about doing, or I think I just said I should do, and
Yes.
here we are doing it. And
It's gonna
we-
be great. Yeah, Surviving Death's gonna make you feel better.
it's
about
going to
how
be
things
laugh out
go.
loud funny, but super interesting and super informative.
We
And
got Poochie got guests that you don't even know. All right.
okay.
Here's my tongue.
He does not want to be part of it.
No, he doesn't. 14th of May, Rec Room, Huntington Beach. That's Mother's Day. He took a show on Mother's Day in Huntington Beach at the Rec Room.
Can I tell you a little quick story about that real quick? Very quick, not to talk. I broke this show in for the very first time, right before COVID at the Rec Room. And
did you?
And the first bit I did about my sister's suicide
Mhm.
stuff, this was the first place I broke it in. Then I killed it during COVID and I brought it back. And now I'm going back to the Rec Room. And this show is so good. Guys,
May 18th, also CB Live in Arizona. May 19, 20, and 21, Stand Up Live in Phoenix. May 24th, we're going to see The Cure. That's on the calendar. May 26th, Dayton Funny Bone. 27th, Liberty Township, 2 shows only that Saturday night. And then Toledo Funny Bone on the 28th. So you got a little Ohio run. Columbus isn't until September.
are you going on this one?
Yeah, but the week after that, the new Funny Death podcast is coming out. You guys, my grandma's hospice nurse is going to be on the first one, and somebody that has been a hospice nurse for some time and has crazy stories, and so
People, all
it's
the
going to
stuff.
be super cool.
All the stuff, all the weird stories that people have during death. We've been through a couple since we've been together in our family, and all the weird things that happen, all the things that happen, and these hospice nurses have dealt with it over and over and over again. And so it's going to, listen, you're going to be around it you're going to be around it. It's going to happen. So this podcast is going to help you get through it. That's why it's called Surviving Death. And it was
'cause
her
there's
idea, by the
things
way.
that we're so unprepared
Right.
for.
Right.
You walk into it with no idea. Well, now this time I knew things to do, and I was a little more prepared as you
And
could
your whole
possibly
life,
be.
it's the scariest thing you can imagine.
And it's like it's so
Final.
not final, but just it's like ridiculous. It's absolutely
Absurd.
ridiculous. That's the word I was looking for.
Yep.
The absurdity of what people do and how they are around it and the things that actually happen. And that's why it's a comedy podcast, because it's
And the weird stuff that happens.
how
There's
you're
some-
going to get through it. I
Yeah,
promise.
with grandma, there's some weird stuff that happens that
Yeah.
you're like, what?
And with my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Do me a favor, go to Christopher Titus TV on YouTube. I have put up 0 side effects. Thank you for all the comments. You guys have been really, really nice. Go to ChristopherTitus.com to get tickets to our shows and the merch we have. If you want to go to iTunes to go see
Oh,
the
yeah.
Willing Bureau.
He's going to release that song
Yeah,
soon. Love
the
that.
Willing Bureau.
And you can go see Alpha Chick on any of those streaming
It's on. Yeah,
platforms.
go to Amazon Prime and pay for it. Nice one. You get loved. No,
Well, no, they don't pay for it. If you have Prime, you can watch it
there
on
you go.
Prime.
But you still get paid.
But on Amazon, give me a good review.
There you go. That's what we need. Same with me. What else is on Amazon? I got a bunch of stuff. American.
Yeah,
I
you
got
got
a bunch of stuff.
of them up there.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There can be only one.